Good morning, everyone. Today I want to share with you my thoughts in regard how to approach a new problem. In life, always there are new challenges, and I want to tell you my step-by-step formula to resolve any challenges. So please stay tuned. First of all, I would say there are two kinds of new problems in life. The one that arrive out of nowhere that you don't expect and that hit you from the back while you are doing something else. And those ones maybe are the most common. But then there are other kind of new problems, and those ones are the one that you seek, the one that are more evolved and developed in the journey. Know that comfort zone is what kill you. So from time to time, go and seek new problems, go and seek new challenges. It is the best way to improve yourself and to grow. So today I want to tell you what is my approach to resolve new problem. The first one will be motivation, meaning it's not gonna be easy to resolve that problem. So the first step that I wanna do is to focus on how I would feel when that problem is resolved. What's the drive that is gonna give me to know that I overcame that challenge? What I'm going to get if I can resolve this new problem? What I'm gonna learn? How I'm going to be a better person? How am I gonna be stronger? So before approaching a new problem, what I do is I try to motivate myself. I try to pump myself up to approach the challenge with the right motivation. The second step that I follow is gratitude. I thank God every time that I have a new problem, because I feel that I'm alive. I think that you're gonna stop to have new challenges and new problem when you are completely dead. Life is made of challenges, and those ones are the opportunity that God send us to improve. And then I say, thanks God, you're giving me this opportunity to learn something new. It means I'm alive. Then the third stage, I try to define the problem. This is a very important step. Sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming when you have a new problem, and usually problems never come by themselves. Challenges, they say, they always come in trees. So my approach is to take pen and paper and write it down, trying to define exactly what is the specific problem that I'm having, trying to identify what are the keywords of the problem. Try to put on paper a brainstorm of what is the challenge, what it constitutes. Definition in terms of what is the problem, what are the keywords, and I'm gonna start to put down a couple of general ideas on similar problems that I have overcame in my previous experiences. The fourth stage is to disregard any subjective opinions. And this is something I see a lot of people making mistakes. They start with pre-assumption. They think they already know what is the solution, or they have already an opinion in regard what's the solution is going to be. Or even worse, they ask opinions to their friends, to their uncles, to that guy that they knew he might be knowledgeable in that area. I think that's the worst approach ever that we can take. The definition of a new problem is that you never faced it before. You don't know what is the problem, neither you know what is the solution. You are brand new to that. So starting with pre-assumption or inheriting other people opinions about the problem and the resolution, it's the worst that you can do. Rather, what I think it's beneficial is clean the slate of all your personal opinions and start quantifying all the assumptions. Measure and count metrics and variable to really quantify the assumption. Just from that step only, sometimes you can resize or you can change the perspective about the issue that at the beginning it seems so overwhelming. We have too many customer service issues. We are losing too much money on order fulfillment, and the business is going down. Okay, why are we saying that? Can we please quantify how many customer service issues we're having and how much money are we losing out of those issues? And then maybe if we start counting the number of customer service issues and how much money we lose about it, we see that those actually are proportionate about the growth that we are having in our system. And obviously everything is growing at the same time. The revenue is growing, but the number of issues are growing as well. So quantifying, measuring, and then comparing those metrics against the standard in your industry, in your sector, in whoever else is putting out numbers for the challenge that you're having is going to be a good stepping stone to have a baseline about the issue. This is what I usually do, and this is exactly the fifth stage after that, right? Once you quantify the assumption and you start putting in place the metrics to measures the challenge, then you got to study YouTube and Google. In the age of the information is there is absolutely no point to start trying to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to ask to your uncle. There is so much information out there of people that have already faced that problem, that people more experienced than you, that already found a solution for that problem, for that challenge, for any challenge you can have in life. Just Google it, just YouTube it, and try to see what are the informations out there in regard to your specific problem. You got to study. In the age of the information, rely on the most valuable tools that you have, which are Google and YouTube, to research and study about the topic of the challenge. And then stage 6. There are gonna be a lot of informations. There are gonna be 3 or 4 or 5 different people that are knowledgeable, that maybe you follow already on Google, maybe that have already established their figure of being a trusted advisor with you or within a community, and they're definitely much more knowledgeable and reliable than your neighbor, but there are still 3 or 4 or 5 different approaches. Then what you got to do, I believe, is to focus on the end goal. Now that you have defined the problem and that you have searched a bit about the literature of that problem with experts in that niche, in that area, what is the end goal? What is the resolution of that problem means to you? How is that problem going to look like when it is resolved? Define the outcome that you want from overcoming that solution. You might not know exactly how you're gonna get there, but what is it? For example, in the example below, the standard of customer service and return issue in e-commerce is 5% return. If I'm at 4%, don't worry, that's still within the boundary. It is normal. This is the business model that you're following. If you are at 7%, 2% above, then the outcome is going to look like a reduction of 2% in return. And then the 7th stage. This is step 7 is really important. I found it to be my one of my the secret that I use in my business to be successful, which is not really a secret, is really a very powerful weapon that I use every time I need to overcome a new challenge. So please follow this step. Identify the best in class for that specific problem. It might be amongst your competitors. It might be around the most successful people in that niche. Identify the first in class, the top dogs. Identify the whales in the pond. Identify your biggest competitors and see how they handle the same problem. It is so simple, guys. Tony Robbins says a quote that really resonates with me. It's success leaves clues. Meaning, people that are successful give you hints on how to be successful as well. So just look at them and try to emulate, replicate what they're doing in your business and in your life. So study them. Identify who are the top sellers in your niche. And then see how they resolve customer service issues. Which career they use, which distribution channel they use. Become their customers, buy their product, experience firsthand their services. Study them, dissect them. Get obsessed with your competition. The best, I'm talking about the top 3%. How do they resolve the same challenge? If they are ahead of you, most likely they already had the same problem. So if it's in the corporate environment, have a look at the people that are high up your rank, that maybe have been promoted from your position. How did they do it? What are they doing on a daily basis? And then emulate their solution to the problem. There is no use of wasting that knowledge. Study the first in the class, study the whales in your niche, and emulate their success. Dissect exactly step by step of what they're doing, and then try to replicate. You got to get obsessed with that. And then finally, the last step would be start doing something. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't try to be perfect. The worst that can happen is that you start studying the problem, you start studying the competitions, and then you get overwhelmed. You think they are too much ahead of you, and you don't perform any action to start because you think it's too difficult, because you think you are too small, because you think everyone is too much ahead of you. Absolutely not. Start, and then life will give you a feedback, and then improve upon that. That's the live. Somebody start looking for me. All right, then I'm gonna close it with this. Life is calling. This is a business call I need to take actually. So super quickly, start, and don't try to be perfect, and then improve based on the feedback that life is gonna give you. Guys, I love you from the bottom of my heart. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye for now.